Typically, when a manager witnesses one of their players getting targeted by an intentional pitch, their immediate reaction is to become defensive. They will stand by their squad and protect their guys until the very end. While it can actually be quite refreshing to see a manager honestly admit when their own player is in the wrong, that scenario is incredibly rare. But there is something even more unusual. In fact, it's so incredibly rare that I've never actually witnessed it before. That is a manager essentially standing up for the opposing team right after his own superstar player gets drilled by a pitch. It was such an obvious hit that it got the pitcher thrown out of the game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Yet, that is precisely the bizarre scenario that unfolded yesterday during a matchup between the Orioles and the Padres. The tension between the two sides started escalating back in the top of the 5th inning. With the game sitting at 4-2 and a runner on first base, Manny Machado had to abruptly dodge a 1-1 inside fastball, forcing him to contort his body and hit the dirt. Later in that same at-bat, Machado hit into a double play, which was subsequently overturned to a force-out after an official review. As a quick side note, wow, he has really slowed down on the field lately. Next up to the plate was Xander Bogaerts with 1 out and a runner on. On a 1-1 count, he was also targeted with a high, tight sinker. Unfortunately, this time there was no dodging it. The ball struck him directly on the helmet. Bogaerts was pulled from the game shortly after, though fortunately, it appears the move was merely a precaution rather than a sign of a major injury. Give credit to San Diego, though. They didn't let the drama break their focus, managing to drive in 2 runs before the inning concluded. For the next couple of frames, the game returned to a relatively normal rhythm, with the only standout moment being a home run, courtesy of Gavin Sheets. However, the peace didn't last. In the bottom of the 7th, San Diego set their sights on Orioles superstar Gunnar Henderson. Bradley Ramirez threw back-to-back fastballs that were practically scraping triple digits right next to him. Fortunately, Henderson managed to avoid getting clipped, eventually drawing a walk on another high-velocity pitch and scoring when Pete Alonso drilled a double past Machado. At that point, you'd think the message had been delivered and the old-school retaliations were over. Apparently, the Padres felt otherwise. Standing on a comfortable 9-3 lead with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, they successfully hit Gunnar with a fastball to the side. This move led to the immediate ejection of reliever Ron Marinaccio. 1 batter later, Pete Alonso grounded out to second, bringing the game to an end. Of course, the real drama was just getting started in the post-game press conferences. Orioles manager Craig Albanese offered a surprising take, stating, "Trey hit Bogaerts in the head, and their dugout was understandably upset. It definitely wasn't on purpose. It was a 2-seamer that just got away from him. I understand their frustration because the ball hit him up high and forced him out of the game. I'm not claiming the pitch to Gunnar was intentional, but the situation was handled the right way. That's why we didn't complain, and Gunnar was fine with it. He just took his base." I have literally never seen a manager defend the opposing dugout right after being questioned about his own star player being targeted. Making matters worse, his own player didn't share that perspective at all. Gunnar later commented, "They missed their 2 chances during my last at-bat. Personally, I thought that should have been the end of it, but clearly, they were looking for payback. I guess we're even now." That is clearly the voice of someone who is irritated, not someone offering approval or acceptance. It's hard to fathom why Craig would publicly validate San Diego's decision to throw at the cornerstone of his franchise. Then again, this is the same manager who has spent the last month stirring up unnecessary drama around another one of their key young talents, Samuel Bassio. For an Orioles squad that is currently falling way short of expectations, this internal friction is the absolute last thing the fan base, the dugout, or the front office wants to deal with. Thank you so much to everyone who tunes in every day to watch these videos. You make all of this possible. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and watch for that cool little baseball icon to pop up. Also, if you have a great concept or an idea for a similar video, feel free to drop me an email.